CJ, if you don't mind, can you explain to the audience and talk to them a little bit about how your upbringing was and how you got kind of involved with the mob, or if it was something that you kind of grew up in? Can you kind of explain your background with the mob?
Yeah, well, I started with the mob. My background is the mob. I was moved to Compton. My family had moved us to Compton in April 4th, 1968. Is the same day that Dr. King had died.
Oh, okay.
The same day that we moved into our residence in Compton on Pine Street. And at that time, the area was predominantly white or Asians. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of blacks in the community at that time. There were no gangs at that time in Compton. There was no graffiti on the wall. The streets were clean. Like, you didn't see no trash or anything like that. I mean, when I left Los Angeles, the east side of Los Angeles, off the central of Manchester, and came into Compton, I felt like I was in Beverly Hills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
I
remember
felt
we moved
like,
there in '72, but go ahead. Yeah, we moved
yeah,
there on Pine
yeah.
Street as well. I live right down the street from
Yeah,
CJ, y'all.
yeah,
Yep.
no, yeah. You're right down the street from me.
Yeah.
Exactly. Your parents would move right down the street from Mom's parents,
Yes.
and yeah, it was very nice over there. Nice community. All the yards were nicely manicured. All the cars, their parents' cars were super clean. It was nice, and it was nothing that you could expect to come out of that, but greatness for all of us. I mean, you get education. A lot of us was into sports and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So wasn't nobody really like into violence and trying to destroy lives or anything like that at that time. When I was there, I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of that until like the beginning of the early '70s, actually.
Okay, so with that in mind, CJ, I did you ever claim Looters Park, or you always claim the mob?
I claim Lewis Park my power.
Looters Park mob, I rule. Okay.
Yeah, I claim Lewis Park
Do you
my
still
power.
claim that, or you just claim the mob now currently? I mean, wait a minute. Let me correct that. When you were active, how did it go from Looters Park to mob? When you were active, a gang member.
Well, first, Reg, I didn't actually start gangbanging until I was 15 years old. I was
Okay.
going into Dominguez High School at
Cause
10th
you got
grade.
height. If y'all don't know, CJ is tall. He probably thought he was gonna be an athlete. You could tell none of them we weren't gonna be an athlete back then. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I didn't actually get into the gang culture and consider myself a gang member until I was 15 years old, and I was at Dominguez High School.
Okay.
But
Yes.
there was the Ludus Park Power Rules was already up and existing,
Correct.
way before I started, representing Mob Power Rule.
Got you. And back then when they did that, because a lot of the guys now they under the impression about jumping in and all of that stuff. Back then, did they do the jumping in, or what type of initiations did they have back when we talking in the late '70s, I think. Uh, what type of initiations did they have into the gang world back then?
Well, my initiation for myself with the homies was that that's of my age. I'm 62 years old now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So back then, at that time, we was just a little crew of homies running
Okay.
around doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? And if it was like you wanted to be a part of what we was doing, you know what I'm saying, then you had to come out and show. You know what I'm saying? If where you was at, what you doing, man? We out here, we doing this stuff, man. This stuff is violent. You know what I'm saying? This stuff can lead you to a long life in prison. Yeah, and it's like, you want to roll with it, we gonna test you, and if you fail the test, you know what I'm saying, then we gonna boot you.
Got you.
We wasn't physically putting our hands on people to put them on the set. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in putting my hands on nobody to make them, you know what I'm saying, become a part of what I believe in or what we pushing as mob power rules. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if we doing that, then that's compulsion. We forcing somebody to represent something, and then the dude might turn out to mark out or be a mark or whatever. So now we
Yeah.
want you to be. You know what I'm saying? Sure about what you saying you want to represent. You know what I'm saying? And you state that, and we say, okay, come on, let's roll. We're gonna check you out.
Exactly. So I can be safe to say that I always, my partner, my boy, is my homeboy, James. He always tell us and educate us about something he used to call Buster Week. You didn't really like Buster Week then for the dudes that they were doing that too, huh?
No, Buster Week is something that originated inside the county jail in Blood March.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nothing that was a part of our neighborhood. We didn't have that. I mean, I'm not for that. You know what I'm
You
saying?
wasn't
I'm
for it.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not about going around. I mean, I had my moments. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I would go around. You know what I'm saying? I would take and rob and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? From people I felt like, you know what I'm saying, was weak and wasn't representing the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like we felt like they, should be representing the hood since they in the hood and they hanging around the homies and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we considered them dudes busters, but I wouldn't beat them up. I'd just take their stuff.
I just take from them. Take.
Yeah,
Gotcha, gotcha.
I'd take their stuff from them, man. Whatever they had, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? And see them the next day. Because they live down the street or around the corner from me any motherfucking way.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Well, I know you are a different man now, and so I know I like to, and people that's not in the LA area, California area, they like to hear these stories about the gang activity. A lot of them don't understand it, and typing right now how they hate it, and it's the
Oh
dumbest thing.
yeah, man. It's like keeping it real, Reg, keeping it 100, man.
Yeah,
Looking back, you know what I'm saying, over
yeah,
my life, you know what I'm saying, from the time that I began to become real violent in the streets and doing shit, you know what I'm saying, that led me to prison for a great length of time, you know what I'm saying. I was in a savage state of mind, man. And most of my peers was in the same state of mind, you know what I'm saying. We didn't have no compassion or no sympathy, empathy for nobody. You know what I'm saying? We was just pillaging the community, doing what the fuck. It was all about the peak. You know what I'm saying? It was all about power rule. And if you wasn't talking about that, you know what I'm saying, then you a victim.
exactly.